Okay, good. Okay, you're good.
Awesome. Thank you. We're so glad. Our kids are all just barely getting home, so there might be a little bit of chaos with them joining us. We have a piano bench for them to sit on if they make it in here. So it is exciting that we are able to come in here and sit down together, and our kids will slowly stroll in. I still remember the very first day when all my kids were mobile and it wasn't the way I expected. But, they were in their gait trainers, little old people walkers, and their crutches and wheelchairs. And to me, that was a joyous day because they were mobile without me. I wasn't having to carry them. But now, fast forward, they're all just coming in separately from school right now. And we're excited that they're coming in. They're leaving their crutches. They still are on crutches. They're upright, but they leave their crutches in the mudroom of our house, if you know what that is, where all the shoes and everything gets left. Anyway, can you guys see me or hear me?
Yes.
I'm not seeing myself suddenly. Okay, there we go. So it's just fun that we're able to come in here and sit and get started and let our kids trail in slowly on their own terms when they're ready to come in. So to me, that's a huge blessing that LifeVantage has blessed us with, is that our kids are becoming more independent, upright. And I know that sounds so funny, but when you're on your back and you don't know you have arms and legs, being upright, no matter how you are, if it's with crutches or anything, it's tremendous. It's wonderful. So I'll turn the time over to my husband a little bit and let him share. And we want to keep our story short and quick so we can turn it to Dr. Silverman, who was a major life changer in our life, who directed us, not just with products to bless our lives and to help us and bless our cells and our mitochondria, but also with food and just her knowledge to help our kids go from immobile to mobile. And we got one of them right here. And this is Caroline. She still needs help balancing sometimes. You got it? Mm-hmm. But seriously, she's upright and she's a sophomore in high school. And one other thing, I'm not trying to change subjects real quick, but Charlotte wanted to be here so badly tonight, but I had to rush and drop her off at college. And she said, Mom, make sure you tell everybody that I'm in college because I'm eating healthy and being healthy and doing nutrigenomics. So it's so cool that I'm able to drop her off and let her go to her college class. She's a big old backpack on and has her crutches, and she's carrying another bag and balancing all that into the college and dropping her off. So that, to me, that's huge. That's a big part of our story. So I'm going to let Loren share.
Our story is right here. At least my part of our story is, my wife, my children. That's what it's really about, is, just a better quality of life. If you'd have told me 7-8 years ago that Caroline would be able to walk in here without her crutches,
without us helping her,
and be able to do all the things that she does, and I never would have believed it. Never ever would have believed it. Our story is, we have 3 kids with a rare neurodegenerative
disease. Yeah.
Doctors have been studying for decades now, almost 2 decades, trying to figure out what's going on, and nobody's had any exact answers.
Still undiagnosed.
But our kids were very immobile. They were easy to watch as little kids, which was nice because you put them in one spot and they just stayed there.
Yeah, but that meant we have to take care of them and lift them and move them to the next spot. And the bigger they got, the harder it got. So
we got to take care of them and do all the different things. And one of the byproducts of that, or one of the negative side effects of that, is my beautiful wife here, who has been the main caretaker for them. She's not a very big person, so she did a lot of lifting and a lot of carrying of kids who are much bigger than usually are. And so between that and some issues that she had as a kid, she had a lot of pain in her shoulders and her hips and her knees, where she was taking, ibuprofen multiple times a day just to survive, which is obviously not a good long-term strategy. And when we heard about LifeVantage or heard about activation, the first person that actually came to my mind was my wife. We had no idea what could help the kids. Everybody kept saying there's not a whole lot you can do. Maybe we can do something, maybe we can't.
And their life was limited. We didn't think they'd make it past puberty.
Yeah, they just said their life was limited. They were fun and happy and beautiful kids. They were just very limited in what they can do. But when I heard about it, it was about my wife and getting her to feel better, and kind of had to twist her arm a little bit, get her to try it, because she didn't she didn't know, didn't believe, we're not scientists, didn't understand any of the science, different things like that.
I was tired of trying things and having things.
She called it the hope roller coaster,
I didn't want anything to bring me hope anymore. That was worse when you had hope and it didn't work.
and
So
just stayed bad or stayed worse. And so we tried it, and after a couple months of kind of trying it, my wife said that she didn't want to try it anymore because it just cost money and it wasn't working. And I just looked at her and said, you know, the people that introduced us to this said it would work, and I have a good feeling that it'll work. You just have to take it every day and have a positive attitude about it. And it was about 2.5 months after that. It took a little while, but it helped. And one day and it wasn't all at once, and it wasn't perfect. Here's the rest of the story showing up here. Oh, of course, Harrison jumps right in the front middle.
of course, yes, it's on my lap still. He's my little one still.
And she started feeling better, and just little things. And now fast forward 8 years down the road, and she can't even remember how bad she had it.
I do have to have him remind me.
She's like, was it really that bad? It's like, yeah, it was really that bad. She couldn't do a whole lot with her shoulders and her knees, and she ached, and she stayed up till 2 or 3 o'clock every morning working hard because she felt better when she was doing something. She just worked till she dropped, and then still had to get up, you know, when the kids got up in the morning. And then after she started feeling better, she took all the kids. I don't know if you want to tell this part of it.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell it quickly because I'd really love to get to Dr. Sveta, because she's where the life change came in. Is we had to do several surgeries a year on our children to tighten their muscles, you know, whether it was through ear, nose, and throat, getting their eyes tightened, just different muscles, biopsies, all kinds of things. It was very normal to go get surgeries with our children. And it was our ear, nose, and throat doctor. He was really impressed. I remember when I walked in, he was one of those kind doctors that always looked at the mothers too, at least me, and just was always worried about me, making sure I was drinking enough water, taking care of myself, because I needed to take care of the kids. And when I walked in that day, he's like, wow, you look the best you've ever looked. You look healthy and happy, and asked me what I was doing different. And I didn't know right away what the answer was to that. And then I was like, well, I guess I'm taking Protandim. And he was so excited to hear that. He said his wife and he had been on it for years. He loves telling his patients about it. But, you know, it's limited unless someone brings it up, I guess, with doctors. I don't know exactly how that works. But when I mentioned it, he couldn't stop talking about it. And then when we were listing off the medications that our kids are on, which was a pretty good list at the time, he was, I guess, dumbfounded or shocked that I didn't have my kids on Protandim.
She's like, are your kids on it? And she's like, no, they don't have joint pain and
I just didn't know any better.
Kind of stuff like me.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the one that sent me to PubMed. That's where I started my research. And that's when we reached to get to Dr. Sveta, because I needed a doctor. That's where I was in my life. I needed validation. I needed someone to tell me it was okay to give to my children. And because it does say, you know, for adult use only on the back. So that was my concern. And I worked my hardest, I felt like, to get to Dr. Sveta, who's on the medical board. And she's just been such a joy in our life. And I'm going to let her share, and then we'll turn the time over to her, because we prayed for her. We prayed her into our lives, I feel like, and we just love her. And I'm grateful to her. So thank you, Sveta. Dr. Sveta.
The amazing Dr. Silverman.
Guys, first, don't give me that credit, because it's not about me.
We're going to give it to you.
You know, I love you. The thing about, you know, I just keep making a little bit of notes. So you guys, if you don't know Merrill's, that's just too bad. Because Merrill's a very unique family. Number one, they're family. They're just family. They do everything together. Their parents, regardless whether the kids have any limitations or not, their parents don't have any limitations for their kids. They're traveling, they're fishing, they're hunting, their activities, baseball for Harrison, Kiki, who is behind and doing theater performances. It is an amazing family. Now, if you don't know Anna, you don't know that. I don't know, everybody has 24 hours in a day. Anna doesn't have 24 hours. She's stretching it to 36 or whatever it is. What she does, and she puts in a day, always family first with the meals and activities and the garden and the animals. It's all in that pattern and saving some animals' lives. And then you don't know that she's a writer. You don't know that she is an artist, illustrating books and stuff and decorating and redecorating and stuff. And whatever amazing mom at all the things. And then Loren, who is a rock. So before the products, what it tells you, I always tell people, LifeVantage, if you let it, is going to be your family. If you build it that way, it's going to be your family. Merrills are my family because they're human values. They're, they're godly values. It's just amazing. It's just simply amazing. And that again, it's about LifeVantage. And per se, I mean, hello, the blind was leading the blind, because I'm not a pediatrician. As you read on every label, per se, consult your pediatrician or something, or just don't give it to the kids. And sometimes, and that's where the science comes, it's like you start questioning yourself, why not? Why? What else do you have? What else do you have other than telling your children, the doctors were telling them that, your children are not viable, or they're viable, all right, because we don't know. But for me, LifeVantage always gives me the opportunity to study, because as Anna and Loren said, as a consultant, as a distributor in Canada, as a lame person, you don't need to know the science. No, you don't. You won't understand it. Don't play the doctor. I even cannot do the doctor, but I can read the science. That is my responsibility. My responsibility is actually to learn the mechanisms that are behind the products that we have. And then the eyes will start opening up, because cells don't lie. And our living, actually, our cellular biology and metabolism makes sense. It depends how we're living it. We're living it right, it makes sense. So we're healthy and vibrant. That's where we are activating, supplementing, maintaining, tuning up, balancing. I'm sorry, guys, don't get me wrong and stuff. You cannot per se do everything and then, sorry, go to McDonald's. This is my philosophy. It has to be in the whole milieu of a healthy living, with a healthy nutrition, healthy mind, healthy prayers. Look at Merrills. Look how healthy, how godly they are. They pray, they positively pray. They don't ask. They pray in gratitude. They pray in that positivity. Cells hear this. It's always that plus minus oxidative stress. And that's now with what Anna said is, number one, never quit. Number two is their belief. Look at Harrison. Scary. You know why?
Smile.
Hey, buddy. Because guess who plays basketball? Guess who plays baseball? Guess who runs backwards?
Yay!
Yeah, I know. Guess who catches fish? Guess who reads his notebook? Guess who is talking? And the thing with this boy, that people say, oh, he can't talk. Oh, he can talk all right when he wants to.
Yes.
That's the thing. He will talk when he wants to. And he will rhyme when he wants to. And he will sing when he wants to. So that's it. Belief, positivity. Now,
Yeah, there was a time when he couldn't do any of that. That's why it's so
no,
exciting.
he couldn't. Yeah, I'm sorry, Harrison. I used to call him a blob because he didn't move.
She's
But the
right.
blob, he didn't move. And then, a couple of years ago, I saw him climbing the stairs. I just about lost it. And they like, the parents like, oh, he does it all the time. It's normal. So now, thank you, Beth. I needed that. So now, okay. So we got a label on the kids, neurodegenerative disorders, right? Per se, we don't know what it is, blah, blah, blah. We think it's a mitochondrial something. So the interesting thing is, the category of neurodegenerative disorders, you can put in another category, which is called neuroinflammatory disorders. Now, we're not treating, curing, mitigating disease by no stretch, but you can start lumping anything you want. We're not curing, but you start neuroinflammation. Here comes your Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ADHD, ADD, autism, multiple sclerosis, anything that has some sort of a connotation of chronicity. It's a neurodegenerative or neuroinflammatory condition. So what's happening? What is the foundation of disease? We're not the foundation of disease is, well, minus genetics. Absolutely, I'll give it to you. But minus genetics, the foundation of disease is very simple. It's called dirty cells. From different modalities, food, toxicities, heavy metals, blah, blah, blah. It's dirty cells. Electricity, EMF, cell phones, computers, dirty cells. What's a dirty cell? Again, you start thinking, okay, in simplicity, that oxidative stress. Why protandum NRF2 protandum works? Because it doesn't work. It's not end all and be all, and it's not 100%, but it works because it has the ability to clean the cells. NRF2 is a master regulator of all detoxification pathways. There's a whole lot more in the cells, but that's a foundation. That's a start. Now, so for example, let's talk Merrill's 3 kids. They have a condition story. Okay. Sorry. 3 kids, they have a condition, right? So there is a genetic component. We don't know which one. There is a genetic. You see them functioning? You know why? Because the parents and everything they do, they act on their nutrigenomics and epigenetics. Because DNA holds the gun, environment pulls the trigger. So what they do with their epigenetics? Yes, they take, and why? Because they clean the cells and then they start boosting their mitochondria. Per se, the brain, how do we function with the brain? Why don't we function with the brain? Because we don't get enough fuel. Who gives us fuel? Mitochondria. But mitochondria is not giving to the brain cells no fuel if it's dirty, if it's not clean, or if it's not fed right. Welcome to NRF1 protandum. NRF1 protandum is amazing, outstanding, never received the proper accolades. It's amazing from so many things. And then, for example, I'm not going to talk about everything, but then, for example, let's 3rd generation NAD protandum. Same thing. NAD, I just discovered, see, that's LifeVantage. LifeVantage pushes you to learn all the time. Apparently NAD plus, the one that we have, NAD plus protandum. So NAD plus is 30% of mitochondrial balancing. The problem is NAD plus is also associated with aging. And there's not enough NAD plus, Then there's another thing that we try to activate, which is called the genes of anti-aging or sirtuins or the proteins of anti-aging. So NAD plus also, as I said, activates, let's say, balances 30% of mitochondrial functioning. So we need it up to the snuff. So the tri-synergizer is incredible, But then, let's say again, with Merrill's, what happened with Merrill's? The kids, Axio. Axio is their magic juice. And now kids know whatever, but before, Anna used to get phone calls from the school, right? One of the girls forgot the magic juice. Right?
Yep.
Or Harrison didn't drink Axio. He's not feeling good. It's a must deal. Same thing, because it has, not getting into the details, the components that help those. Oh, now I cannot talk because she's so gorgeous. Because Axio has the components that turn on those neurotransmitters. And again, think of what does it mean, neurotransmitter? It transmits the signal from one cell to the other. Now, those cells, for example, some of the nerve cells contain over 2 million mitochondria per cell. So you need neurotransmitters to convey the message, otherwise we're like confused. But you need the cell to figure out the message. So you need the fuel into the cell. And then because there are 2 million mitochondria and those cells are huge, you kind of need to clean them and don't have to pretend them. But then you also need to support the cells to maintain the integrity of the cells and also conduct this impulse, this message, welcome to the omegas plus. Those fish oils, EPA and DHA in our omegas plus, omega-7 and vitamin D, our omegas, to me, it's absolutely a must deal. It's a must deal. Now, I don't have the science, but I can tell you that my dog is an omegas and will be, because he needs his fish oils. So, and I'm not even getting into the liquid collagen. Again, with the kids, what happened with liquid collagen? Who was that? That was Charlotte, right?
Yes.
Who was spelling alphabet backwards.
Yeah, she suddenly started saying her ABCs backwards after being on collagen, and it doesn't make any sense. So
your collagen is not just about the skin and the good looks. No. It's about every cell. And that's why it's like, sorry guys, I took so much time, because it is all about Merrill's. And what happens with Merrill's also, because they do it, they're a product of the product, they do it by example. I haven't even spoken about Loren, the foundation, the rock of the family, the solidity, his ethical and values, his humanity, above and beyond. Like, Loren is my rock. So, but the thing, what happens, but Loren is calm and quiet. He's behind the scenes. He praises Anna, gives her all the accolades. And Anna spreads the word of how she talks to everyone. She not only she talks, she shares. It's like shares every time. You need this. You need this. You need this. So, the generosity and the kindness of this family is above and beyond. There is no ways around it. That's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Sveta. Thank you,
Yes,
beyond
thank
words,
you.
because we know how blessed we are. Because I remember when Harrison was still struggling to speak, and you had called me excited that NRF1 and NAD were going to come out to help. And it really did. It just really ignited that cell and pushed forward. And So just, I can remember the days and times and where I was sitting when we would try new things, because that's how important it is. The kids wanted to share something too, if that's okay. They wanted to share. Harrison, what did you want to say about Axio? We were cleaning up when he got home and putting his backpack away. And what did you want to tell them about Axio? You gotta look at the camera over here. Takes him a minute to process sometimes. What did you want to share about Axio?
I told you, Harrison will talk when he wants to talk.
Do you want to talk?
Not exactly.
Okay.
But I'm sure that the girls will.
He'll talk when after the girls do, he'll want his turn. Go ahead, Felicia.
Well, I buy my own Axio now because I notice in the mornings when I am extra tired, I get some Axio and that just helps me motivate, that gets me motivated for the day. And I notice it helps me a lot with my singing and helping me be more in tune with my brain and my diaphragm, because you use your whole body to sing. It's not just your voice. And so that just really helps me to be more in tune with everything within my body so that I can be able to portray the best performance.
Teacher Krishna Swami, is she correct? And a professional opera singer?
Yes, she's totally correct. We need to breathe. We need to use our bodies. That's what makes the sound. We don't get to draw a bow across a string or play a keyboard.
Yep.
But
I
you
just
know,
love though that a 17-year-old wants to spend her own money on Axio. I mean, I give it to the family, but she wants to be in her own control of it and get her own and have her own when she wants it and not ask me for it. So to me, that is a huge testimonial.
Kiki is absolutely amazing because being in pain, not being in pain, breaking her wrist, having the surgery and smiling through and through, and being such an inspiration. Losing a friend, supporting a friend after the accident, such an inspiration. And just with a smile after this, oh, I want this out of my hand, like a hero, like seriously, people. And these are parents. These are the parents that are bringing those values.
Yeah, she broke her wrist over New Year's and had to get surgery and just had the plates and things taken out and went to the doctor yesterday, and he was very amazed at how quickly she was healing and nicely she was healing up. So activation, getting those cells to heal up quickly.
Yes, thank you. Caroline, did you want to share anything? You can lean forward if you want to.
I like about the Axio is it's makes me like wake up in the morning and makes me concentrate at school and different stuff. And
They know every morning they have a picture of Axio on the counter. They come in and they get a glass and it just helps them get moving quickly throughout the day. So
I was talking with Caroline's teacher the other day, it was last week, I think, and asking how Caroline was doing, and she's in a reading class there, and it took her a little longer to read than the average kid. But I asked about it, and the one I was talking to was a co-teacher in there. She said when they tested all the kids at the beginning of the year, Caroline tested at the second highest reading level of anybody in the class. She does it a little slower. Okay. Can't do the volume others, but her reading level is excellent. She reads, she writes, she does everything. It takes a little longer, but she does it right there with her peers and tested second highest in her class. That's pretty doggone impressive.
it's okay, slow and steady, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
We love it. We're proud of her on that.
Reader, she does everything well.
Exactly how we do in Life Vantage, slow and steady and consistent.
Yeah. Harrison, did you want to say anything? Because I think it's time to finish up, but did you want to say the last? What did you want to say? You were excited. A car drove by, so he's looking out the window at the car. Look right here. Right here. Anything you want to say so we can say goodbye to everybody?
Think about Axio or Protandem.
He makes sure every day. He started swallowing the pills, which is a big deal, huh?
Yeah.
He used to have to choke him down even up until about the summer, and then he decided when school started he didn't want to have to chew them or put them in his food and take bites. He wanted to swallow like his sisters.
What
So
are,
what happens now?
what are you able to do because of Axio and Protandim now?
Around my hoverboard.
Right as a
Hoverboard. I
That's
I
a
don't know,
big
I don't know if
deal.
anybody out there has ridden a hoverboard. I haven't even tried to get on it yet. I'm afraid because he got it and started riding it before I even had a chance. Now I'm afraid to not be able to do it. But this kid with special needs with all these balance and neurodegenerative disorders, he gets on the hoverboard.
Well, first he asked me if he could get one with his money. And I told him no, because I like to help my kids do things and grow out of,
Successful,
be successful, but I don't want to do things that are going to be
unsuccessful.
or not real, like a hoverboard. And that's what's so crazy. And I know she mentioned it quickly, but collagen, we've called it brain tricks. And basically, since my kids have been on collagen, we took it because, Dr. Brett and Dr. Sveta and everyone said to take it. And we've only started taking half. My kids haven't even done a full because we're putting 6 people on it. But like she said, Charlotte started saying her ABCs backwards out of the middle of nowhere. And if you ever want to try that on your own, just say it real fast. Charlotte knocks it out really quickly. And that actually surprised me and scared me. And then Harrison wanted a hoverboard and I told him no at first. But then he kept bugging me about it. So I said, okay. And he can do it.
Just know that it might take you a while, or you might not ever be able to do it very well.
But he did it. And whatever his brain is doing and connecting, we call them brain tricks. What's happening with the NRF2 and the collagen together. Because I guess they say savant or whatever they're saying, the neurologist is just blown away because they go from not being able to speak or read or move their bodies like they want to doing things that other people can't do. That's
I can't
confusing.
even do it.
So anyway, that was exciting for him when he could do the hoverboard, but we don't want to take anybody else's time anymore. But yeah, concentration, it's huge. It's a big deal. Thank you, Sveta.
Well, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. It is always an honor to represent by Merrill's and with Merrill's. Thank you, Mimi, for running the thing. And it's so amazing to see some faces that I really, 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 really love. And we'll see you in San Antonio. Safe travels.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
week
See you
and a half.
soon. Yep.
Thank you,
Safe travels to everybody. Bye.